If you're considering becoming a mortgage advisor in the UK and you're currently on the pathway to your CeMAP journey, then 2026 brings major changes you need to know about. CeMAP qualification is getting a complete overhaul. This isn't just a cosmetic update as well. It's a structural, strategic rework for how advisors are trained, assessed, and also qualified. The changes are designed to reflect the modern financial service landscape and bring the qualification in line with today's regulatory and also ethical demands. So whether you're mid-study or you're just getting started, this video is going to break down everything you need to know about the new CeMAP structure, key dates, what's changing, and how best to position yourself for success. So why is CeMAP changing? Well, let's start with that big question. Why would you change a system that's worked for decades? Well, the short answer is the industry has changed. CeMAP needed to catch up. The LIBF, which is now the Walbrook Institute of Finance, is modernizing the CeMAP qualification to ensure it continues to deliver capable, ethical, and confident advisors who can actually thrive in a more complex and regulated market. The traditional structure has been criticized for being outdated, too focused on theory, and not aligned with real-world advisory conversation. So this new syllabus, it brings in more applied learning, scenario-based testing, a focus on ethics and regulation, and a streamlined structure for modules 2 and 3. Now let's talk about the key dates you need to know. So here is the roadmap for the transition. On the 29th of September 2025, it's going to be the final day to register under the current syllabus, okay? On the 30th of September 2025, which is my birthday, new study materials for the FSRE updated module 2 and 3 are released. On the 10th of November 2025, first sittings for the new exams are going to begin. And on the 12th of January 2026, it's the final day to sit any old CeMAP exams, including resits. And from the 13th of January 2026, all exams run under the new syllabus only. So if you're already enrolled or you're planning to start soon, this timeline is critical. Miss the deadlines and you'll need to transition to the new structure, which involves higher level of difficulty and more demanding exam format, particularly in the first module. Now, what is actually changing? Well, let's do a module by module breakdown. So CeMAP 1, which is Financial Services Regulation and Ethics, this is the most dramatic change. Now, the old CeMAP 1 was a level 3 qualification focused on the foundations of the financial service industry, but the new FSRE is now a standalone level 4 module. It goes deeper and demands a higher standard of understanding, especially in ethics, client interactions, and the regulatory context. Now, the FSRE includes 2 distinct units. FRE1, which covers the financial services industry, market structure, key regulations, and the FCA framework, and also FRE2, which focuses on the advisor-client relationship, ethical behavior, advice processes, and also conduct. The exam format for this is going to be 25 multiple choice questions. There's 3 case studies as well per unit with 5 questions each. This shift moves the FSRE beyond memorization. You'll now need to be able to interpret real-world scenarios, apply judgment, and think like an advisor. The second thing is CeMAP 2, which is mortgages. Now, this module has been streamlined from 4 units into 2 broader units. The content is more logically organized to reflect the practical journey of mortgage advice. You'll still cover topics like mortgage regulation, different mortgage products, the home buying process, lending criteria and affordability. However, you'll notice less repetition and more focus on how to apply knowledge in real-world conversations. Number 3 is CeMAP 3, which is the assessment of mortgage advice knowledge. Now, previously, CeMAP 3 was seen as a bit of a bolt-on, a quick assessment to finish the qualification, but that is definitely no longer the case. It now has its own syllabus and it is treated as an important standalone module. It remains scenario-based, but now reflects a much clearer structure with defined learning outcome. Think of this as a real-world application test. You need to interpret case studies and demonstrate your ability to match products to client needs, to make suitable recommendations, to justify your advice in writing. So what does this mean for new and existing students? If you're already studying your pathway through the current CeMAP structure, you still have till the 12th of January to sit all the exams under the current syllabus. And you can also register for the current exams and other modules up until the 29th of September 2025. Now, a bit of a tip on this is if you started CeMAP 1, finish it as soon as you can. Otherwise, you'll have to redo a whole new FSRE exam, which is harder, longer, and at level 4. Now, if you're starting soon, thinking about starting soon, well, if you're planning to start in late 2025, you have a choice. Register before 29th of September 2025 and follow the old route. If you do that, you're going to need to complete all the exams before January. However, after the 30th of September, you start with the new FSRE exam, followed by the new mortgage advice modules. Either way, you still get CeMAP qualification, but the path will look and feel very different. Now, let me give you my coach's take on how to prepare for the syllabus. If I was advising a new entrant today, here is what I'd say. I'd say, one, don't underestimate this FSRE. This is a big step up. It's essentially a foundational financial planning qualification, not just an intro to mortgages. Block off dedicated study time and practice case studies early. The second thing is train like you'll advise. CeMAP used to be very knowledge focused, but now it's going to be skills focused. Your ability to explain, interpret, justify recommendations, they all matter. So don't just memorize, learn to think like an advisor. The third thing I'd say is choose providers carefully. Make sure your training provider has an up-to-date version of the FSRE materials, offers mock exams with case studies, supports you through the new exam formats. They also should be giving you coaching, not just content. The fourth thing I'd say is stay consistent. The biggest challenge isn't the content, it's sticking to the plan. Schedule weekly study sessions, set exam targets, use accountability tools. So what should you be looking for in a training provider? With the new structure, you want a provider who can help you navigate this new level 4 qualification, especially the FSRE point. It's very hard. You want a provider who prepares with applied learning methods. They also need to understand exam techniques for case study formats. They need to be able to deliver hybrid or digital learning options if you're working. Make sure your provider isn't just rebranding old PDFs with new titles. Ask how they're supporting the transition, exam study, the real world understanding. So why do these changes actually matter? It's easy to see changes like this as hassle, but let's zoom out a bit. Mortgage advice isn't about interest rates anymore. It's about helping people make life-changing decisions, navigating complex criteria, affordability rules and protection gaps. It's about balancing client needs with regulatory expectations. You see, the new CeMAP reflects this evolution. It positions you not as a form filler, but as a trusted financial guide. So with the new FSRE ethical foundation, a more logical learning journey, and a stronger case-based assessment, this new structure could actually elevate the public perception of the role, and it's going to help you stand out in a crowded market. Now is the time to take it seriously. Commit, don't wait for the deadlines, and make a decision. Take action and become the professional your future clients are looking for. If you enjoyed this video, you want to check out this one on screen right now, which is a deep dive into everything you need to know once you've passed CeMAP to grow your mortgage business and build a career that you love. Give it a click.